When you upgrade your mindset from survival to growth, your people, you, and your performance follow.
Let's talk about something we've all seen. Why is it that some leaders just seem to thrive under pressure, while others are just barely surviving? It's a question that can define everything for a team, its culture, its performance, you name it. Today, we're going to dig into a really powerful idea, that a leader's most critical tool isn't some fancy strategy or new software, but their own mindset. So, let's get into it.
Okay, so picture this. You've got two leaders, they have the exact same job title, they're facing the exact same crazy market pressures, same targets, same budget headaches. On paper, their situations are completely identical.
But you fast forward just a few months and their worlds couldn't be more different. One team is absolutely crushing it. They're energized, hitting their goals. The other, they're drained and falling behind. So what's the secret sauce? What's the invisible variable that changes literally everything?
This quote from Donald Fleming over at M360 Leader just nails it. Your mindset, it's the operating system for your leadership. It's the code running in the background of every decision you make, every conversation you have, every reaction you have. And just like the OS on your phone, if you don't upgrade it, it doesn't matter how many new apps you download. Nothing's really going to change.
And that right there brings us to the core of the problem. There's this invisible barrier holding so many great leaders and our teams back. And it's not about a lack of skill or lack of resources. It's all about the default settings in that internal operating system.
So the foundational idea here comes from the amazing work of psychologist Carol Dweck. She basically identified two core mindsets. On one side, you've got a fixed mindset, which is the belief that our abilities are just, fixed. You either got it or you don't. But on the other side, there's the growth mindset, which sees skills as something you can build through effort, learning, and, this is the big one, feedback. This isn't just some feel-good idea. It's a fundamental choice in how you show up to work.
Now here's where it gets really, really interesting. When you go out and ask leaders about their own mindset, the results seem pretty clear. A whopping 96% of them say, oh yeah, of course, I have a growth mindset. They see themselves as open, adaptable, totally focused on development. But is that what their teams are actually experiencing? Well, here's the reality check. Only 45% of their employees agree. Less than half. That disconnect is absolutely massive. It just goes to show you that what a leader says about growth matters so much less than what they actually do. Your people, they're reading your operating system, not your mission statement.
So how in the world do you bridge a gap that big? Let's make this concrete and talk about a real-world story. Let's talk about Isabelle, an HR director who could just feel that something wasn't quite right inside her company, even though the numbers looked okay.
So what was going on? Her leadership team was running on fumes. Managers were avoiding tough conversations like the plague. And performance reviews? They were this last-minute, panicked scramble in an Excel sheet. The unspoken vibe was, hey, we're doing the best we can with the people we've got. That right there is a pure, fixed mindset in action.
So Isabelle and her team knew it was time to upgrade their operating system. This timeline shows their 6-month journey. It kicked off with a specialized leadership program all about productivity and results, and then they rolled out a whole new ecosystem of tools designed to support these new habits. The point is, it was a structured process, not some magic wand. And almost right away, a completely new story started to take shape. The language people used actually started to change. This is the new script that took hold. Instead of seeing people as fixed assets, they started seeing potential. Feedback became a gift for development, not a final judgment. And performance? That became a constant conversation, not some dreaded annual event.
Now, a mindset shift is powerful for sure, but let's be honest, it's hard to make it stick without some support. And this is exactly where the right systems and the right technology can be a total game changer, turning those good intentions into actions you take every single day.
This puts it perfectly. You need balance. If you just roll out a bunch of new tools without changing the mindset, it just feels like surveillance, like Big Brother is watching. But on the flip side, if you have a great growth mindset without any tools to back it up, it's just wishful thinking. It never actually gets into your daily habits. You absolutely have to have both. Let's look at how this actually plays out in the real world. Think about weekly planning. The fixed mindset is just trying to survive the week, but the growth mindset is about designing the week for impact, using a strategic tool to make sure your actions line up with your goals. Or take team meetings. Instead of a boring status update, a tool can show you the real-time cost of that meeting, forcing you to treat that time like a serious investment. Every tool in an ecosystem like this is designed to trigger a growth mindset right when you need it most.
Okay, so you might be thinking, this all sounds great, but where do I even start? Well, the good news is you don't need some huge company-wide initiative. You can start right now, today, with 3 simple but incredibly powerful shifts in your own operating system.
First, shift from thinking I must know to thinking I am learning. It's okay to not have all the answers. In fact, it builds trust. Second, when you feel like people are being resistant, try seeing it as people are protecting something. Get curious about what that is. And third, move away from seeing meetings as a necessary evil and start treating them like real investments that need to deliver a return.
I love this quote from executive coach Pascal Dubois. Real courage isn't about being perfect. It's about being willing to learn out loud in front of your team. This is about becoming a more intentional leader, not pretending to be someone you're not.
And that brings us to the final choice. Because every single day, in all these tiny moments you might not even notice, you are modeling a mindset for your entire team to follow. Seriously, think about it. When someone makes a mistake, what's your gut reaction? Is it about blame and finding limits, or is it about learning and finding an opportunity? Because your team is watching.
And when a big project starts to go off the rails, which operating system boots up for you? Is it the one that's focused on finding fault, or the one that's obsessed with finding a path forward? That one moment sends a huge message.
So here's the bottom line. Your operating system doesn't just decide your personal results. It determines the results, the engagement, and honestly the well-being of every single person who trusts you to lead them. That is the real weight and the real opportunity of leadership.
Look, M360 has been guiding leaders and managers for over 15 years, and they've got an incredible satisfaction rate of over 99% for a reason. If you're ready to upgrade your operating system, you should really reach out. M360 is all about revealing the leader that is already inside you. Because as they say, they're not here to educate you, they're here to activate you.